I may be cute and petite, but my petty game is strong.
And if I were meant to be controlled, I would have came with a remote.
You are tuning in to the Grown and Unfiltered podcast,
where we gonna always tell it how it is.
All right, we are back with episode 3. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, so this episode is all about, should sexuality define a person's core values? And on this episode, we have a special guest to get a male perspective on this topic. Cameron, welcome.
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Not really much to say. From Denver, Colorado. Grew up in South Florida, and then moved out to Dallas, Texas, and went to Idaho for school for a while, and now I'm back here.
All right.
Y'all traveling all around the world, just all around the world. Mm-hmm. All right. So sexuality, core values.
Let's get into this. So first, let's just kind of talk about what is sexuality. Like, it's not the act of having sex. Like, sexuality is actually about your capacity for those sexual feelings. It's those thoughts, like the attractions that you have, and you know how you behave towards people that you are or are not attracted to. But when building relationships and in those early stages, sometimes our sexuality kind of collides with our values. That's what we're going to be talking about. Like, is sexuality a value? For me, I think it's valuable. It needs to be, at least.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. So like the way I define my values, I'm going to have to separate my personal values from my sexual values. And the reason why is because I don't want to be going into a workplace or an interview and I have some sexual values listed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, well.
well, this is my, it's kind of like two different people. Yeah. If you kind of look at it with your values, right? So the way I define my personal core values is how I want to live my life. How my values measure my life. You know what I'm saying? And then my sexual values, that's totally something different. Like I said, it's my alter ego. That's how I'm going to say it. It's like my alter ego.
Yeah, they definitely both require, especially from a man's point of view, like I feel like both of those people that you're talking about requires maturity. Mm-hmm. And it takes a lot of time to kind of get to that point. Yes. But it's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that they exist in the same person. Like, I can't be me if you strip this part of me, like my sexuality, like my uterus is what makes me a woman, my vagina. Yeah, you can buy one, but it's never going to be the same. It's the real thing, Right. Like, that is me. It's part of me. Not that I'm going to put those out there like on a resume, even though I think men should come with resumes. They should come with some sexual resume. Let me check your whole facts right quick. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can do that with the mutual friends though. We'll see who they've been through. But like, those values are things that you can't really place a value on. Your personal values are invaluable. Like, they're priceless. Mm-hmm. And so is this WAP right here. Priceless shit.
WAP, 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 WAP. Yes. And that's why, like I said, that's why I keep my sexual core values separate. Mm-hmm. Because I can say my sexual behavior, like I like to dress sexy and stuff like that. Or my attitude towards sex is, but I don't want to tie that into my personal value. So I was talking to a friend, mm-hmm. And he was talking about if you have a woman who's doing a presentation over maybe financial literacy or something, right? Mm-hmm. And you have a woman that's very modest, but her presentation is whack. She's not very knowledgeable. Then you have another woman coming in and her appearance, she's known to be a stripper. She's very sexual, but she's knowledgeable about financial literacy.
She's drawing attention right then and there.
Right.
Yeah.
But people are more, I don't want to say judgmental, but they're going to want to listen to the other one because she's how she carries herself than the other one. But the other woman who's very sexual in her appearance and her behavior is the one that has the knowledge on teaching somebody about financial literacy. So I'm just like, you know.
That's hard. Because I've seen plenty of memes with like a woman that's dressed and they say, is this appropriate to wear to church? Now, I don't know who makes these church rules. I never seen them written down. I don't think there's a list of church rules in the Bible. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. But like if you coming as you are, if I'm sexy, I'm sexy. I'm sexy in these jeans, no matter what I put on. Like some people just built like that. Like they have the shape. So no matter what they have on, it's going to feel sexy to you. So, I mean, what can they do? How can you help that? Like, honestly.
Yeah, you just come as you are. I mean, you know, for me, like, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm a man of God. You know, I've been saved, you know, when I was little, and I grew up that way. But, you know, with that being said, like, you still, like, make mistakes within, like, a relationship pertaining to sex. Like, if sexuality is, like, one of those core values, then you have to understand, like, as a man's point of view, like, we have our point of view of sex, you know, different from a woman's. You know, woman, you know, you like to get to know somebody typically, but, you know, it's different for everybody. But as a man, like, you have to, like, you just have to focus. And sometimes focusing is the hardest thing to do with a lot of distractions going around.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
That's good. I like that you mentioned your spirituality, because how does that tie into sexuality? Because I've seen people whose spirituality has hindered their sexuality. So when they save themselves for marriage and they get into this, then they're unable to fulfill this and it falls apart. Of course, he about to get a side chick because you weren't even ready. You wasn't even ready. You thought it was just you was going to wake up and it was going to come to you. But, like, they have to be one and one. Like, they have to come together at some point, because if you're going to be procreating and making this big, you know, display of love in your bedroom, you need to be appealing at some point in time. And I'm not against the saved people. That's fine. But, like, how do you teach them? Like, how do they get that knowledge? Because that's where I'm misunderstanding. If you this holy, you shouldn't be looking at this secular stuff. Like, how you learning how to be sexual? Let me know. They teaching that at church. I might go.
She said she might go.
I might go. Invite me. I want to hear it. Because I ain't been.
Because I had that same question. Because there's always those rules to when you're supposed to have sex. When you're married. Are you old enough? Are you in love? And it's always, you know, the church folks always say, don't have sex before marriage. And I always question, as humans, why do we do that? If we're going to church, we say we're Christian, but we still, and I don't want to say, because Eve messed it up. No, I don't want to say that. Like, why do we, I say it's because we just have this urge.
It's carnal. We're humans. Before spirituality was invented, before it was a construct, we were humans. We already have these inner traits. That's why men already have that tendency to be attracted to people, and women too. Like, you want that strong looking man. Like, oh yeah, like I know he got it. Like, that's who you want to procreate with. Right. So yeah, you can wait for love or you can wait for sex, but ideally, I hope they both come together. They're gonna have to. Right. With the same person.
And you know what? And I be trying to wait.
Not waiting for love.
I really be trying to wait. Like, that is my standards. That is my rules and expectations when I'm dating someone. I'm like, I don't want to do this too early. I don't want to do this too early. But if that connection is there, the urge.
The vibe.
Yes, it's the vibe. Okay.
The vibe. Test the time.
Dang.
Forget the time, but, like, if it ain't right, I would know, looking at somebody, whether I see myself doing it with them or not. We'll never make it to that point, because I already knew off top, once you open your mouth, yep, this ain't it, then I know I have to be careful and use more constraint with this man, this fine man. But you, yeah, okay, I can wait. You can wait.
Right.
Maybe.
That's why
Yeah. It's just like, you know, having an itch. You know, if you're ready to... Sometimes you're ready to scratch it right then and there, but sometimes you wait to see if it goes away. And then if it doesn't go away, then you start scratching. But, you know,
I be trying
it is what it is.
I be trying to, okay, let it go away, let it go.
Let me get a sample.
Let me go. Right. And then them samples begin to you in trouble. I'll be like, God dang it, that's not what I wanted to do.
It do be what I wanted to do. I will never have no regrets. I go into life every day. When I wake up, I want to get everything out. I want to say everything I want to say. I've done everything I want to do. So when I go to sleep, I'm not worried about what if tomorrow never comes. So, Yeah, but
But the hard part is
yeah.
finding your core values within that moment. You know what I mean? Like, so if you do have that moment of like, oh yeah, this is going to happen right now. Like, if we do it right now, what are the long-term effects of that kind of decision?
Yeah.
So
And that's what I be thinking about.
The long term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I already set these expectations and already communicated that with the person that I'm dating, and I just bent all my rules or expectations, because I already told this man, look, I'm not trying to have sex too early on. I want to be emotionally connected to you, not just a physical attraction and all of that, but it just happens. Then I start thinking, dang, did I do it too early? Is he about to leave me? Or, you know, not really wanting to date me? Not because my what I'm looking for still stays the same. I want a long-term relationship. But then sometimes, you know, I've had that experience where I jumped the gun because I had that itch.
Jumped the gun.
Right? I jumped the gun and I had that itch and I already communicated with him. This is not what I want to do. I don't want to do it too early. And then when I do it too early and then I ask later on during the dating phase, hey, where are we going with this? He's like, you know, that's not what I'm looking for just yet.
You know, the crazy thing about it is that, you know, sometimes guys think of it as like a convenience kind of thing. Like, you know, okay, like we're having sex, you know, I'm well fed, you know, typically they're not really like, they're comfortable where they're at. That's what I'm trying to say, you know, so there's no really like trying to get further past that point because they're like, I'm already here kind of thing. But
that makes sense.
That does make sense. But I also think that men know what they want. So whether you had sex on, you know, your first date, second date, 20th date, if that man wants to be with you, he's going to be with you regardless. And can't nobody convince me otherwise that that's what it is. Because I jumped the gun like you did, and I thought, like, oh, I wanted to do this. And I'm like, dang, I should have did this. I didn't even like this. Now I'm going to have to stop talking to him. Like, anything else he said, like, I was just irritated. I'm like, I don't even know. No, this was bad. I should have did it. Like,
dang.
That was where I just felt bad. But then, like, the toxic men, they just be the bad. I know they bad. But you know, I ain't never jumped the gun and accidentally had sex. Like, I was ready. Ready. Yeah. So that's how I know.
They be ready too. You know, exactly. You know, if y'all both feeling it, it's kind of like a magnet. They just.
But it's got to be mutual. So your core values aren't mixed up. But I couldn't, if I was a man, I don't know if I could be in the bed with a woman and she like, so what are we now? Like, dang, I don't even know. Like, oh my.
But see, I be doing that later on.
Not when y'all got y'all clothes.
Oh, well, no, I don't do it in the moment. Like, that's just like, dang, what the heck? We just...
Yeah, he running for sure.
But yeah, but if I'm going, we're dating, and it's 3-6 months, and I'm just like, okay, we still in this dating phase. I'm ready to kind of move forward, but it just don't end up. And one of my friends said it's because since I stayed in my standards or rules and expectations. It's like when a man hears that constantly from women and then they break that rule, it's like, okay, well, shoot, you just like every other woman. That's why I don't want to.
Can't take you seriously.
Yeah.
I can't take them seriously either. Like, you let me do this?
Exactly.
How you going to lead me?
Let's talk about that.
How you going to lead me?
You already
What kind of leader are you?
Expectation. Why do men do that? Like, you already know our standards and expectations. You know I don't want to do this, so why did you even
I mean, you know, like sometimes like you'll be like so sexy that a man is willing to wait. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of wait you out and just kind of see like where you stand, you know, a month from now or 2 months from now. You know, if I continue to do the right things and say the right things, like how are you going to be able, like what will be your response if I'm that kind of guy that you're looking for? And like, are you going to stick to your word? Are you willing to like wait it out, you know, kind of hold yourself back, you know, from giving him that highest honor? You know, just kind of see where you stand from there. But, you know, at the same time, it's, you know, you still have that itch. You know, the more time you spend with somebody, the more you get to understand how they, you know, handle themselves and get to know themselves. And that's how it is.
Okay, well, that makes sense too. See, that's why we gotta have that male perspective. Because I'd be like, why do y'all even let us do this if I already communicated with you in the beginning? This is not what I want to do. At least
communication is a key part, though.
But she did that.
Yeah,
she did that.
But you gotta. But even like if you say it the first time, there's have to be like a second, third, fourth time. There has to be consistent kind of.
I gotta tell you over and over again.
We don't like that. We did not.
I mean, it's not like you gotta tell them, but it's more like you gotta coach them or like bring them to that point.
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
I want a man that's already coached. Look, I fixed a lot of men for women, and they probably happy in their relationships. Like I did that for y'all. So I'm the next man that comes to me that's going to be my man. He needs to come already fixed. I don't need to make no repairs. Yeah. I don't want to do coaching.
Yeah.
What? No. Because if I'm telling you, like, I want a provider, like, you need to show me that you're someone that I can trust, that I can listen to. Like, I will believe you. I don't believe many people. So if we're headed that direction, then I'm going to I would hope that you would want to hold me accountable too if we made the decision to do this. Because that waiting thing, if he doesn't know that that's what you waiting on from him, sometimes men can take that the wrong way. Like, oh, so you going to make me wait? And it's not even about the sex because, yeah, they can get it from somewhere else. But if they really like you, yeah, they going to wait. But if they really like you, they might not wait. And they going to get it from somebody else. But you not their girlfriend. So, like, I mean, sex is not the highest honor. I think the loyalty is.
Yes, I agree.
The loyalty is. So me telling you we're together, like, this is yours in a moment and this is yours for real is different. Different, this is yours.
Yes. No, for real.
Yeah.
Like right now. That's why, like, look, that's why I said I can be physically attracted to you, physically connected with a man. But if I'm not emotionally there, then okay. Like I'm just not.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it if they're stupid. I'm just turned off. They just turn off all the waterworks. Like, you can't spell. Like, it just
you can't spell. Dang.
Like, I can't.
No, but for real, that bothers me too. I'm texting somebody like, dang, you seem like you can hold a good conversation, but you messed up on that one word, and you keep messing up on it
because you don't like them. You don't like them, especially when you just pick it out and I'm just like, I cannot read these texts. I cannot do this with you. Like, you can't be the father of my future child. Like, no, your genes are bad. Like, I be thinking about all of this stuff. So, yeah, I'm not going to have sex with.
But you know, the hard part is that sometimes guys don't even recognize they only have one time to, like, mess things up. Like, you only have one time to mess up the dish. You're not going to eat that dish if there's too much salt on it. You know, somebody was too heavy-handed with it, so. At the same time, you just gotta be good with it.
They gonna be salty when you leave them. Because we leave people over here. I ain't waiting for you to decide whether you want me or not. It's already been decided. You've already been blocked and deleted accordingly.
Yes. In my mind, look, I just start ghosting you or taking forever to respond. If you don't catch on, then that's your fault.
Yeah.
Like that.
So, with those dating standards and those unspoken rules, like, did you talk to your parents? Like, I want to ask y'all, you know, as far as like your mom and your dad when it came to dating, because I feel like I didn't get a good education on dating and everything. But my mom just figured, oh, you smart enough, you're going to figure it out, which I did. And I had the right information. I had people to go to, but we didn't talk about those type of standards and rules and stuff. So it's like, I'm out here, I'm a whole savage, but you made this because you didn't. And it's not like I felt that she should have given me like, this is what you're supposed to do, because you can do this time and time again and you get the same results and you still ain't got no man. Meanwhile, you got these girls sitting over here waiting 6 months to have sex with a man, and guess what? He's found the person he wants because he wanted her in the first place, whether she made him wait 6 days or 6 months. He already knew he wanted her. So don't feel like you better because you waiting. Because if he leaves you after the 6 months, if he have sex with you after the 6 months and he leave you 9 months in, you still gonna feel the same way that you gave up something and he's not with you. So, like, where do you tell those people these rules? Like, when you're dating, it's going to be an exchange. Either you don't do it at all, so you don't feel like you're losing anything, or be prepared to make that exchange, because when he's having sex, he's giving up part of him too. So that's why I just put this value on the vagina like that, because penis is valuable too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not all of them. Some of them ain't worth nothing.
Not all of them.
Don't even remember.
Yeah. So to go back to your question, like with parents.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a conversation or like that talk with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched them in their dating experiences. And I think that's where my core values stem from when I'm finding somebody,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm looking for. Knowing how my dad, even though they're divorced, how he still treats my mom. They are still friends, respect each other.
Yeah.
Family vacation, still, like, my parents don't have that negative energy between them, you know, that you really see with most divorced parents.
They be mad.
You're blessed for that.
Yeah, you are blessed because people are mad when they divorce.
People don't even talk. Like, they cuss each other out on sight.
What is there to talk about? Like, I married you, you wasted my time. Like, I hate you. Like, literally, that's where some people divorces go. But they had a understanding, and they were there for you. So you were bigger than those people issues. You know, like, they're separate issues.
Right.
Now, my husband, if he got an ex-wife, she ain't coming on no vacation with us. I don't care how happy she is. No, she ain't coming with me personally. Right. Personal value, nah.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
That's where, like I said, that's where I think my core values stem from when I'm looking to find somebody today or in a relationship with, because I'm watching my parents. Even though I didn't have that conversation with them, I'm seeing how they are in their experience with dating and how they are with each other, like I said, even though they're divorced. So I think
cool.
that's where it comes for me. Now, we never did I don't think I've ever had a conversation with my parents. I talk to my mom more deeply about, you know, my relationships and friendships and all that than I do with my dad. 'Cause my dad be like, okay, you know, whatever. He's just big chilling.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever had a conversation about sex with my mom. Like, I don't. I mean, she gonna listen to this.
You know what's crazy though? Like, have you seen Bridgerton before, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember like one scene, like they were, well, no
Which
copyright, but like they were talking about because the daughter was upset with the mom that the mom didn't talk to her about sex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, that's crazy. That's
She
crazy to
didn't.
me.
She didn't even know how she could get pregnant. That's why she had to go ahead and kind of assault him in order, because his pullout game was strong.
He was. Hey, I applaud that man too. I was just like, hey man.
Me too, because he was sticking to his standards. His standards was, I will marry you, but you will not bear a child by me. And what she do? Disrespectful.
Baby.
Got on there and was like,
thing.
yeah, I'm about to get this baby, whether you like it or not. Yeah, her values were, they weren't on the same page. Now that we brought in Bridgerton, and then those standards for them was to appear so wholesome and pure and all of that. But yeah, they had some freaky, nasty sex scenes for her to not know what to do. After that first time, she was good. She was good.
Yeah. So and that goes back to, again, personal values. And your core values, because I'm just like, you're holding yourself so modest.
Trying to,
but
that was fake.
You over here a whole freakity.
That's fake. To me, that's fake. Like, I feel that you shouldn't have to hide these parts of yourself when you're really dating someone. Like, to go into a relationship or just dating people, you know, like, this will be a big part to me, you know. So I just want to let you know, not that we about to do it today. It's just I will be considering it in the future.
Right.
Like, this is part of it. If we don't click on this part, like, I don't see me staying for the other parts. Like, it's different if I'm with my husband, then he got into some type of accident. I don't know, some type of freak accident. Then he couldn't do it no more. You know, like Drake on Degrassi. I mean, it is ways to do it, but, like, I would be okay with that. That's an extenuating circumstance. But you just not wanting to, that's what leads people astray sometimes. And it's sad, but it's true, because you need that physical touch, especially if that's one of your love languages. So we can't take our love languages, which stem from our relationship values, like, that's a piece of it.
Right.
And then try to take the sex out of it. Because if physical touch is my love language, I'm never going to know past, you know, if you don't hug me, if you don't kiss me, if we don't just cuddle. Like, you don't even have to get to sex to feel that intimacy. So We got to get that together. Sexuality and intimacy and its place in dating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
We got to get that because some people have sex before they even kiss. Now, how you skip?
How you get out? See,
They don't kiss no more. It's these rappers in these songs. They say we don't kiss them.
It's society.
Wop.
It ain't the WAP. WAP is a women's empowerment song.
Hey, it is a great song. Yes.
Yeah, it's empowering you.
And
Unless you got a drawing, you got that Popeye's biscuit in there. Ain't nobody rapping about you. Ain't nobody rapping about you.
But even before then, like rap was talking about sex since like the 70s, damn near. And it's always been like a huge part of its kind of growth up to this point. But I don't never see it going away as part of like artists and
culture.
So forth. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because sex sells. It always has and always will. Even though like the act doesn't change. People literally been doing the same exact thing forever.
Exactly.
Like what's new?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
What's new?
And so since you mentioned sex sells, this article, they were talking about Kim Kardashian. The article is called Sexuality and Its Roles in Defining One's Value. And so it has a picture of Kim Kardashian in a swimsuit, booty cheeks all out. You know how Kim Kardashian be posing her pictures.
Thirst traps.
Well aware. Yeah.
Thirst traps.
And it says, let me find it. It says, an example is Kim Kardashian and the entire Kardashian-Jenner family. Society often judges them based on often scandalous ways they brand themselves through social media. Some think that the fact the family is exposed to much of their bodies mean that they are promiscuous, immodest, and not as wholesome as other women, even though they do not know these women personally. This shows that society still devalues people based on their sexuality. And I agree with that, because how do we know that what her core values are? Just because she has this image up with booty cheeks out, swimsuit.
Yeah.
Why are we devaluing her because, you know, how the Kardashians persuade themselves and stuff to be sexual, but like you said, it's branding. That's what's known from the Kardashians.
But, you know, booty shots like this, they've been out for a while now. She's not the only woman that poses like that on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, that's, you know. But I wonder how many men, though, have liked and commented on this photo. You know what I mean? Like
men and women.
Men and women.
Don't forget those. These sexually fluid people, they just love everybody and everything. They try sexuals.
Exactly.
Trying it all. Not me, though. I don't want to try it all. Okay, so you look at Kim Kardashian. We can't devalue her because of her sexuality. Her sexuality is what gave her value in the first place. Ray J giving them weak back shots, that's what got you popular. It's got you popping. It got you in the know. It got you a reality show, which exposed parts of your life that we shouldn't even been privy to. Like, it was just too much. I'm glad their show is over because it was just too much into their lives. Everything about them was constructed, including their sexuality and how they want to be viewed. It changed the face of how our girls are growing up. Like, they made this insta fame, like where you're famous for doing nothing but having this body. Like, that has value in itself. So it's hard to preach and try to teach sexual values when your sex is valuable. Just you even portraying the image of it can get you paid, can get you sponsored, can get you a rapper just because of how you look. Like, they win. I'm sorry. If I didn't have no morals and values like we think they don't have, like, honestly, that will be the only way. You will have to abandon it. I guarantee you she is not crying at the house because she don't think people think she's wholesome. It don't matter because her not being wholesome got her in that house.
Exactly.
Got those kids, got all them husbands, and got her fame. I mean, it worked for her. Like, she literally made it work for her. And I can't be mad at her.
Business is business.
It was. Even when the business is your body and picking the best parts out of Black women's body and putting them on you. So now that creates a whole nother issue with natural women. That's where sexuality really has it's where it gets crazy at. Because we have these manufactured women, these fake pictures, these filters, and then you have real women. Like, how much of that stops us from having true sexual connections with people, because you expecting me to look like, I don't even know, like this Pornhub and stuff. That ain't even what real sex look like. This is video. These people can't feel this no more. They probably drugged up, doped up. They're doing this for you to get off on. But if you have a man who's like Boosie, got his son, paid a woman to perform a sexual act on him because he thought it was valuable that he have a sexual experience.
Mm-hmm.
But that was about money too.
It was about money and fame, but it still happened to that child. Yeah. So how's he gonna view sex? It's something he has to have to prove he's a man. Mm-hmm. So that all ties in. Like, my sexuality is what makes me a woman. Like, I feel the power. You don't have to be sexually active to be a sexual being, but you need to be in touch with it. So that's part of like building those values. I feel like I'm a little training.
Yeah, preach, girl, preach.
Human sexuality is coming out because I look at the whole spectrum of it. So it's just different pieces. Like, you gotta feel it. Feel yourself. Do it.
Do it.
The hardest part, though, like, for a man, like, looking at Kim Kardashian, it's easier to look down than it is to look up. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is it's easier to look at the obvious parts of what makes, outer beauty beautiful, but also, like, diving in, to the mind and, like, understanding who she is as a person. Mm-hmm. So, and that takes time. And that's the factor too. Like, is she gonna give that guy that time to recognize her value? Mm-hmm.
Is she?
And that's the tough part, because first impressions matter.
Exactly. Exactly. Because that's like, for me, if I'm on a dating site and I see a man just thirst traps, all his images shirtless, dick print in the sweatpants.
He probably don't even know, though.
Man, come on now, you know what you're doing.
He probably don't even know.
But that's all he's showing. He's not showing clothes, just like you said, like. But your profile, like the content, your bio, reads very well. But I'm still like, you thirst trapping. Like, I don't even know what you're looking for. So swipe X. Swipe left. So I'm like, dang, but this could have been a really good man. But the way you're portraying yourself on this Tinder, it's like you just want sex. So that's why I swipe left. Even though your bio is really like, okay.
See, you should have gave him a chance if you was reading the content of his values, not judging him on his body.
That's what I gotta work on.
You got the double standard, because let me tell you who I'm going to swipe left on. The man who got on those jeans with that little accordion, got on the fedora, the turtleneck, looked like he teach Sunday school, baby. I'm swiping left on him all day long, because those are the toxic men. Those are the ones, in my personal experience, that ain't about nothing. They be the first one. Oh, I can't take them in. And the ones that say, I'm about to have this business. I can see through that. It's all fake. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you teach Sunday school, but you still up here talking about sending me a picture. Them be the ones. They don't never be the other ones with the print, because they already know they got it.
You know what? You're right, because sometimes them guys don't even be asking for pictures.
Nope, it be them churchy ones. The ones that look like they went to college, Pledge Alpha.
Pledged Alpha.
The ones that want to be lawyers.
Alpha. She said it. So those
the ones that want to be lawyers.
Oh, Jesus.
That want to have a great impact on the youth. Them be the worst ones. Lamest ones, too, but I'm sorry. It's the wine.
So what is that like from a male perspective, though? Like, if you're on a dating site and you see a woman, nothing but boobies and booty.
But they got it. Like, you can't hide all of it.
Yeah. Like the first impression matters. So, like, if you putting out, like, your booties and your titties, we're going to notice that. Like, if we can deal with that, next thing we're going to look at is if you have more pictures, like, what else are you putting out there? Like, what else do you have to offer? And then, like, we can just kind of make assumptions based on, like, what those pictures look like. Like, if you have a picture of you graduating, we know you went to college. We know you have, like, a specialization or something. So, it really comes down to, like, what the guys is looking for on those types of websites. But, like, it's really hard, because sometimes you can get persuaded by looks. Mm-hmm. You can be like, yeah, I'm ready to hook up with her right now because she's 2 miles away.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
That's what they do.
She online.
I'm glad I ain't never.
I'm about to message her right now, like, hey, what you doing right now? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. But
you don't even know me.
Yeah, well, my day, I never meet up with people after they. If on my dating site that I've done in the past, this was like years ago. Like, I probably need to get back on there so I can find me a true love. But if they tell me, hey, what you doing today? Like, no, you can't make plans to me today. Like, I'm a parent. So, like, I have to teach them my values up front. Like, you not first. You won't be first until I say I do.
Do you
like,
probably
it's
have
me,
a picture of your son on your site then?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I do say I'm a mother of one because they want to know how many kids you got. And then some men don't talk to women who don't have kids because they have kids. So it's very important for me to put this on here because I'm not going to drop everything for you.
But then it also goes back to money too because a guy can be broke as fuck and probably won't be able to offer you and your son. You know what I'm saying?
If you broke as fuck, you got to go.
You shouldn't even be on the site. You should be on Indeed, swiping right on them jobs.
On them jobs, honey. Because you can't come and entertain me if you ain't got no financial stability.
Like, you can't take care of me. Like, this one guy that I was talking to Octavia about and my coworker was talking to me about, he was like, give him a chance. You know, he trying to get himself together. I said, no, he looking for a come up, and that ain't me.
And that person,
I wonder what he
for
doing
somebody
now.
to take care of him.
Yeah, so he get his money up.
Like, girls be looking for a guy for a come up though. Sometimes.
That's what they were taught. That's part of the values. You want a man who has more than you. See, I'm not a traditional person. Like, I'm a hybrid. Like, I'm literally a hybrid model because I believe some of those traditional things, but some of those are outdated. Because up until now, I've been providing for myself. So all this stuff that a man tell him he's trying to get, houses, cars, like, I already bought that, got that, 2020, what you got? Like, that's how I feel. So I got all this stuff on my own. So what else can you do for me? Like, if I got sick tomorrow, could you afford to keep me living like I'm living for myself? Like, then I don't need him.
Yeah.
I want to know why I need you besides for sex.
Yeah. In marriage and all that other stuff.
But if he ain't got no money, we can't get married. We can't even have no wedding.
So do you put money on the sites though? Like, do you
they
see a stack of hundreds, right?
I might talk to him. Swipe right.
See, I be a little concerned. I be like, ooh, what you doing? Like,
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. So you guys, they should put salaries up under there.
They should add that. Not for real. But then you might have these niggas out here lying.
That's fine.
That's not fine because when you get with them and they broke,
Then you going to say, also, you a liar, so this is it. This is done.
You're going to need a website that's IRS verified or something.
Yeah, they got to turn in their W-4. Verify that adjusted gross income.
I need to know if you are financially stable. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to be. But I think, all of this is a part of society.
It is. It's
society.
A social construct.
Yes. Yeah. And I want to talk about the double standards with men and women. Okay? So, I mean, we kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do have a question. Why is it okay for a man... I'm looking at you like...
Yeah, we ready for this. I'm ready for the answer.
Why is it okay for a man to post images, being sexual, have this sexual behavior? And I'm not talking about just having sex. Not talking about no body count, none of that. I'm talking about just putting pictures out there, and y'all don't get the pushback. But we as women do. So, like, Lakendra, you said something earlier, how you posted a picture with your tattoo and then...
A fake tattoo with that. A freaking Sharpie pen that was right here on my ribs, and all of my people are like, hey, you might want to take this down, you might want to take it down. Like, the slightest image of underboob. Then I'm looking at other people's pictures. They're in education too, and I mean, they all greased up, got on a little spandex, and they, showing their bodies and stuff. Like, okay, so that's okay for him?
You know what? It's kind of crazy because, like, I feel like because women get more attention, like, just naturally. If a guy posts a picture, it's going to be, only women who care to comment on a picture like that. Mm-hmm. And, like, like guys that are attracted to that. But that's not the majority. You know what I'm saying? So the majority is mainly looking for the Kim Kardashians, the sexy photos out there. And that's why they kind of get those kind of pushbacks because, like, they're making those comments. They're trying to get that kind of attention.
Yeah. I know what it is. I think I had the light bulb. Hey, the reason why my picture was flagged and not his is because women want to see his picture, but the women that's hating don't want to see my picture. So that's who's going to tell. Men don't tell on other men because they posted a sexy pic. That's too suspect for most straight men to come to terms with. Even if they say, "Oh, say, bro, you looking good. I see you getting your weight up." It's gonna be something of that line because of our society now. Like, you have to make things very straight and clear. Like, I met a guy and he was like, he was bisexual. I was like, okay, bye. But it's acceptable now. Like, where are these boundaries? Men are never gonna tell on another man for a shirtless picture.
Nope.
Yeah.
But a woman will, because we feel comfortable in that sense. Yeah. Men probably barely get undressed in front of each other.
And the other thing is that, a straight dude is not going to waste his time looking at another dude's photos. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, I'm just going to let you do your thing. I'm going to focus on
whoever. we steady looking at, oh, look at her. Look what she got on. Oh, she doing too much.
It's us. We did it.
We talk too much. That's what it is. Women, we are so
I ain't snitching on nobody. You can have your whole ass out. I really don't care. Just do your job and don't tell on me.
Right. Because look, with these busted challenges and these silhouette challenges and all that, we had some in a Facebook group, some stores are like, that's just not, you don't do that. And I'm just like, well, when I do it, if you follow me, you might want to unfollow me.
They fake conservative. They fake.
Exactly. Because I'm just like, I feel like the women who were doing those challenges were just embracing their sexuality. Yes. That's how I'm looking at it. But now when you do a little bit too much, that's when I'm like, wait a minute, that could be saved for not public eye. But if you're just doing it where it's classy, or whatever, then okay, this woman is just embracing her sexuality. Right. That's all it is. I'm not gonna judge her like she don't need to be doing that. You don't need to be dancing that. I'm not going to let my child listen to this. First of all, let me tell you, your child already listened to it in school.
Every word. And when the beat drop. They already know the dance. They already know the moves to it. But you're right. They fake conservative. Those people be putting on the front because it's very possible to be nasty but classy. Mm-hmm. I know that's the name of a party, but that is a way of life. You got to live like that because everybody should know. So the busted challenge, if you got on leggings, even biker shorts, like, what's going to make this so freaky? I'm telling you, it's the body type, and it's the woman that's saying, that look nasty. Like, it just depends on who you are and what you look like to them, because men don't care. Because men see these images on Instagram, but they know that they ain't even that type of man to get this type of woman. They know it's just a fantasy. It's just a dream for them. They selling them the dream. So, yeah, they like the pictures they follow. They look at the big booty women. But you look at the people they marry. Plain Jane. I mean, not all the time, because I've seen a lot of beautiful couples over the past. I'm like, they look good. And I'm used to, these men that be cute, get these ugly women. I'm just like, dang, I ain't ugly enough. Never will be. I'll be single. But that's what it is. They know the type of woman they can get. So fantasy, reality, sexuality, they going to have to come together. You can't get in that man. So stop looking at them. It's not for you, sis.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. You have low-hanging fruit and you have some fruit that you can't even reach. So, how far are you trying to climb up the tree?
It don't matter. You will never reach that. That apple is not for you. That apple's for the rich man.
Preach.
The apple's for the rich man. The apple is for the sugar daddy.
Preach.
Not the sugar daddy.
They're probably going to take a plane up there, too. They ain't going to climb that shit.
Right. Exactly. Dang. Flying them out. Flying them out.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into sexuality and tying that into your core values. Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to keep them separate.
Yeah.
I have my sexual values. What I'm looking for is sexually, I want to be emotionally connected to you, not just physical. I want there to be you to know my body language, to have that respect, that communication. Then I have my core values when I'm looking for a job or looking for what I want in a person to date or to be in a relationship with.
Yeah.
But when I'm communicating that, when I meet someone that I want to date or be in a relationship with, I do think it is important to communicate your sexual core values with that person.
Yeah, when it comes up, it shouldn't be like forced. It should be natural.
Yeah.
I'm all for things being natural. That's why I don't start off with no whole types of rules. This is what I expect. This is what I'm not gonna do, because those things are gonna come up naturally. Like I'm gonna say no, and you're gonna respect that no. Like that's just what it is. Like it has to flow. Like people can kind of tell what type of person you are, and they know how they're going to treat you just by how you're treating them. Like, you're not even gonna come at me stupid. You already know you can't get this. Don't even ask. Don't even try it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, sit like that, sir, because it's not happening. It's not going down. You want to come up? No. You want to ride with me? I drive everywhere on these like first dates and stuff. Probably to the 10th date. Can't even come to my house. We ain't never gonna have nowhere to have sex because it's not going to happen.
The 10th date. Yeah. I mean, I get where you're coming from there. Just, I mean, I've been there before. Like, okay, I'm not gonna invite you over. Like, we gonna have to get to know each other. But just sometimes you just have that connection with somebody, and like I said, I think that if that person lines up with my core values, then okay, you can come over, whatever. But I really have to feel connected to that person.
And comfortable. And secure and safe, because nobody's having sex with an unsafe person at all. Like,
exactly.
It's just not going to go down. Then I want to know, like, do you want to have kids? Like, what if something happened? Like, do you have some money for a plan B? Like, all of these things just be running through my head. So I just rather not do it. Just rather not.
Yeah.
Don't have sex with people you couldn't see yourself having kids with.
That is true.
Just don't even do it. Because sometimes birth control don't work.
What if you don't see yourself having kids with Michael B. Jordan, though?
No, I'm going to try to get pregnant. Shoot. Let me trap him.
That man is fine.
And I mean, he all right. I don't know. Lori Harvey kind of she just tainted his value a little bit for me. It's just like all these women want him. And I just knew he was going to date a white woman. I'm sorry. I just felt it. I just felt it in my spirit. And I was like, oh, okay, she got him. So I was happy for her. But I'm just like, I still don't know about him. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm rooting for y'all, I guess.
I just think he's a sexy man.
Yeah, right.
You know, it is what it is. I don't know. But
yeah. It's because he's smart, and I like men that are smart. Like, I saw him on Raising Dion. Like, he's had so many different roles. Like, I feel like I can feel his range. Like, I would get bored with a man that, like, this is it. Like, this is it. You just one-dimensional. Like, I'm a multifaceted person, so, like, is this it? Then it's never going to go to the sex. So I don't be worried about sex in the beginning of a relationship, because half of the time, 85% of the time, it's never going to go there.
Yeah.
Like, if we in the house and you make it there, like, it's too many opportunities. You got the couch, you got the bed, you got the floor. Like, it's too much. And then you by yourself. So it's good to be out in public. So it can kind of help you keep those boundaries if that's what you choose to do.
Yeah. That's what I be trying to do.
Unless they fine. No.
Yes.
Let me make this mistake. I'm sorry, guys.
Like, dang it.
Let me repent.
I'll be darned. You know.
Being fine is another thing, too. Like, you know, if you fine, you know, like, where is that line? Does that line get narrower? Or does that line, like, kind of expand? Because, like, if you fine, then it's easier to fall into, like, that kind of situation. You know, people are going to expect something from you.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing. Like, saying no. Like, no, I'm not going to do this as a man to a beautiful woman. 9 times out of 10 doesn't happen.
But to an ugly woman, it's easy.
Oh, yeah, it's easy.
Ugly man, too. So tell us about the time you messed up. We gave you our love.
Yeah, we done gave ours.
Yeah, so what's the time you wish you wouldn't have did it? Like, I wish I wouldn't have did it. We need some backstory. Just come on, tell us.
You know, I think everybody has a story when it comes to that. But, like, for me, I, of course, have those stories. But
give us one little snippet.
We need do it now.
We done
shared hours.
Do it now.
This can be the good wrap-up ending.
Yeah, come on, tell us about you knew that you shouldn't have did it. And then they get stuck on you. Was they crazy? Was they stalking you? I ain't never stalked nobody. I don't chase liquor, so I ain't chasing no. Make that word rhyme.
You know, like, for me, it really just comes down to, like, because I was a D1 athlete in college.
Ooh.
And
You know how
they was
athletes
after you.
They be chasing after them, honey.
Yeah,
Their parents taught them
it'd be
that.
so fucked up because like I went to a school that there wasn't many like black folks out there.
Of course
like,
not.
In Idaho, like there's no black people out there except what was on the team.
And potatoes.
And I was like, yeah, and potatoes.
They the only
Exactly. And fried
Idaho
sauce.
potato.
There's only brown things out there.
Yeah, and it's you have those nights when you have too many shots. You mix vodka and whiskey and tequila.
No, you just mixed it.
Yeah, you already fucked up right there. That's when you fuck up. That's not the next fuck up. But the next fuck up, you just kind of blacked out from there. So you end up making a mistake with somebody take you home, somebody decided to take care of you that night because you were vulnerable.
Tried to trap you, didn't they?
Yeah. Vulnerability is the thing. Like if you're there, you're in someone's sights. And if you're someone's sights, then you're either a target or you're not a target.
Mm-hmm. B1 athlete, you was a target.
You was a target.
You was right on your back.
Right. You didn't even need the alcohol. They just saw athlete.
Yeah. I should have did that. I should have went to Max Preps when I was choosing what school I went to. I should have been strategic because I could definitely see myself as like, I don't even like football like that, but I've been learning since I've been a cheer coach. Like I love basketball though. I could be a baller's wife. Like
Girl, me too.
I think I could do it.
I mean, like,
even if they cheat on me, like I would have to
cute.
I would just have to take it. As long as he don't have no side babies, like, I think I could live that life. I could fake it for that.
Yeah,
but I didn't
you could
have
do
that. I wanted to find this man. Like, I had this love story. So I went looking at Max Preps 24/7, DFW Sports, trying to see who was the top picks. But yeah, if I had a daughter, I'm going to teach her. Say, baby, this is who you need to go after.
Don't teach her.
Yeah.
Values.
Exactly.
But that's what those girls have been taught, so they already knew what to look for. And then Kim Kardashian, unfortunately, has fetishized mixed race children. So yeah, you was right up.
Kim
have a mixed
Kardashian
baby,
got what she want.
a biracial baby. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Khloe too, and Kylie.
Yep.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah. Yeah, you was gonna make the dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. Like they have the beauty, they have the money, they have probably the character at first. And if they seem like a good person at first, and they seem like they have pure intentions, and they want you at the same time, then that's like what you want to hold on to. Yeah. Because Kanye, he had all of that.
He still do.
Yeah, exactly.
He's worth $1.26 billion without her, like by himself, just from the clothing line. I looked it up. I was like, I hope he gets to keep his money, because I was like, hold on, Kanye, she better not get none of your money.
Right, no, for real.
He's a billionaire by himself.
Yep.
Leave
Money's
her
a
with what
factor.
she got. Leave her with what she got.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But so what happened? I'm sorry, I like details. So what happened after your mess up? Like, how did she react? Like, or how did you react after you realized the next day, like,
I think when you're blacked out, like, you don't really, like, have the expectation that it's going to go further than that night.
Right.
Like, because I was just worried about making it to the next day and going to practice. And, I guess her expectation was that I was going to follow up with her.
Follow up.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're blacked out and, like, I feel like I have no responsibility after that point, because in another situation, if a woman is in that situation, then she would expect the same thing, And I feel like because of the Me Too movement, and you have to hear women out, you have to be able to like understand the entire story. And if you're gonna play like like he did this but she did this, or you have to be able to kind of dig into the details of like every situation. But when you're blacked out, that's scary. That's it. You know what I'm saying? There's alcohol.
I've never been blacked out. I don't think I want to be.
Oh, it's
or you
so
forget
bad.
What happened. Like, you don't know any details. Like, you don't know you actually had sex, and now this girl is just behind you. Hey, we had fun last night. Like, hold on. Like,
hello, who are you?
Yeah.
That would scare me.
That, and then where you?
Oh, I would be scared.
Too many movies out there.
I'd be right at the hospital, like, Dr. Timmy, I don't know what happened last night. Like, for real, because men can be victims too. Like, they just got me into, and that's another part of sexuality. We teach these young men and these boys that this is this is the core of masculinity. That's not what being masculine is. I met a lot of women who are real strong men. I met a lot of women, they some strong men. They're very masculine. But, like, a man is not going to go and say, hey, you know, something happened to me. I don't remember if I gave consent because your friends over here like, yeah, you got that. Like, I didn't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that at all.
You never really have that consent conversation too, like, you know what I'm saying, unless you like text the other person like, hey, do you remember what happened last night? But after that, like,
That's too scary for me.
It sure is.
Because anything, she can go back or she can go back.
It's in her power too.
Exactly. You're going to be looking crazy too.
Real crazy while you on that bed.
Exactly.
Right. Then you the one that's
it's even worse
up.
if she took pictures
And
all
videos.
that. Even worse.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So that happened to you?
No, it didn't happen to me, but you know.
I was about to say,
Blink once.
Nah.
did you learn your lesson?
Yeah,
like, did you learn?
Of course. I mean, there's a lot of lessons that, you know, especially with everybody that you meet, you know, you should take away something that you meet from everybody. You know, that's just my personal value. But, you know, especially someone who took away something that you can't get back.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to reflect on that. You know what I'm saying? Either at the doctor's office or wherever you at. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be like,
you either gonna pay $50 in Plan B or $50,000 in child support,
it's
or
more than
call it
that.
tuition or whatever
Probably.
it is.
Let me calculate that for you right quick.
She said, let me calculate.
Based on what I know about it. Let's see.
You doing a whole real life calculation, honey?
Times 12.
Yes. See what kind of trouble you could have
There's a
got
whole bunch of-
yourself into.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
There's so many exponentials.
$129,600.
Minimum.
That's just what I'm getting.
That's minimum.
At the end, when it's all said and done. But I mean, of course, you use the money to take care of the kids. So they're like, I could, man, but if I was really set up, I could just put that away. Wait, pretty soon it's coming where that money ain't gonna even matter. It's just gonna be just for him. Like, my son graduated, he's gonna be.
Yep.
What you want? What kind of car you want? You ain't gotta get no bucket. Like, you got this. It's gonna be good.
Well, I'm glad you are okay in that.
Me too, because I'm just like, they up here targeting you. Like, we need to probably teach the boys about that. Like, what you have is a gift too, and everybody should not get it. They should not all have it. Like, you need to pick women that you want to share this experience with. It's not going to make you a man the more sexual conquest you have. It's not going to make you better at it either.
But you know, the baby don't say that.
Sure don't. The baby don't ask to be here at all. Even when it was the worst sex of your life. You know,
No,
like,
I'm talking
dang, I
about
had
the
this
baby. Like,
oh, the baby. I thought you were talking about the baby that came out. That girl no plan B.
No, I'm talking
I would have
about
crushed it up
baby.
and put it in her scrambled eggs or something. Like, baby, let me make you breakfast. What the baby say?
I'm talking about like rap culture. Like,
Oh,
you know
okay, I
what I'm
thought you had
saying?
a quote because, you know, I love Meg Thee Stallion, so I be quoting her.
Oh yeah.
I love, like, I just like her. Maybe it's because she from Texas. Like, she be saying stuff. I be like, yeah, she's spitting.
No, for real.
Like, dang, that's how I'm living. Yeah.
Music definitely plays a culture. You know, that's all I'm trying to say. Like, music, like if you're hearing like slow songs, so I know Pretty Ricky definitely
everybody
played a
grinding.
factor.
Boy.
We was literally, that's hunch dance music. Like,
Yes.
you grinding on people. Like, the girl in that phone store, she was body rolling. Baby, grind on. That song, why was I listening to that? My parents failed this.
Because I show what college.
I love Pretty Ricky.
Turn that music. All right. Well,
That's gonna put some thoughts in your head. I'm gonna
Yo,
tell you that.
Man, college parties. I remember this one song. I think it's called Nasty Song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, won't you
The
put
nasty.
but you put the nasty on me.
Yeah, girl. Like, first of all, like, I just have images of that song. Like, yeah, music is, but you can't be influenced by everything. And I think a lot of media on our wrap up has influenced our sexuality, how we view ourselves, the double standards we set. But I think with the way we're moving towards all this gender fluidity and everything, those double standards are going to start crashing down. like in all aspects. Like they're going to have to, it's going to follow suit because now the lines are getting blurred between men and women. So, and the gender roles, it's not the same. So either our thoughts are going to have to move forward or we're going to have to go back to what it used to be. Like, this is a man, this is, like, that's the only way you can keep this like this. It's the only way.
And with that, I think that's a good note to you always ending it with some good knowledge gems.
Dropping them.
It's good. So hopefully you all enjoyed this conversation, enjoyed this episode, and you think about your own core values. You think about your own sexual core values. Do you want to have that separated? And leave us a comment because, we post and we ask questions. So leave us a comment either on our YouTube channel. Remember, don't forget to subscribe. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button. Also, if you're listening on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening, also hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. We want to hear from you and about your core values, your sexual core values, your thought on sexuality and stuff like that. So that's it. Again, we hope you enjoyed. Cameron, thank you for being here.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yes.
Appreciate
You gonna come back?
Absolutely.
Bring a friend, a fine friend.
On that,
I will.
I mean, at least I had somebody to look at. So.
I will, for sure.
well, on that note, we love you all. Thank you for listening and tuning in. And like I always say, we out. Thanks for tuning in to the Grown and Unfiltered podcast, where we are always telling it how it is. Remember to stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And if you like what you heard on our episode, subscribe and share.